If Nietzsche were alive today, he wouldn't be chasing texts, begging for attention, or seeking approval. He would be calm, detached, observing the emotional chaos around him, while remaining 10 steps ahead. Why? Because Nietzsche understood human nature. He saw how power, emotions, and manipulation work in relationships. And he wasn't just talking about men or women. He saw the game. And the game is about control. Control over yourself, control over your emotions, and control over the choices you make. Nietzsche didn't hate women, nor did he worship them. He simply understood the nature of power and the importance of being aware of it. Unlike most men today, who react, chase, and beg, Nietzsche saw the warning signs a century ago. He knew that if you don't understand how power operates in love, you will be controlled without even realizing it. This isn't about blaming women. This isn't about creating division or bitterness. This video is about waking you up to something critical, something that could change your entire outlook on relationships and life. Once you understand what Nietzsche understood, everything changes. You stop reacting. You stop chasing. You start thinking. You move through life with quiet strength and total control. And when that happens, you become unstoppable. Rule 1. The man who needs nothing has real power. Nietzsche believed that true power begins when you stop needing anything from anyone, especially from women. Today, most men don't realize it, but they spend their lives chasing validation, chasing love, attention, approval. They want to be seen. They want to feel important. But here's the hard truth: needing someone makes you weak. It traps you. You wait for that text, you feel incomplete if she doesn't call, you bend over backward to make her happy, hoping to feel okay. That's not power. That's emotional slavery, but a man who doesn't need anything from anyone is free. And freedom is power. When a woman senses that you don't need her to feel complete or confident, something shifts. She realizes she can't control you. She can't rattle you. And now, the dynamic changes. You don't chase her anymore. She starts wondering why you're so calm. Why you seem so grounded. Now, she's the one thinking about you. And that's when the power flips. Nietzsche called this type of man the Übermensch, the higher man. A man who has mastered himself. He doesn't need love to feel valuable. He doesn't beg for attention. He stands tall, calm, and grounded. And that's what makes him magnetic. So, remember this: if you need her, she controls you. If you don't, she becomes curious. The man who needs nothing doesn't push. He doesn't beg. He leads. And that, my friend, is real power. Rule 2. Never argue with emotion. Nietzsche knew something that most men still don't understand. When emotions take over, clear thinking disappears. Women, often, don't test men with logic or reason. They test you with feelings, mood swings, and emotional chaos, not out of malice, but out of a deep, intrinsic need to know: can you stay calm? Can you remain solid when the storm hits? Most men fail this test. They yell back, get defensive, try to explain, fix, or justify their actions. But the moment you argue emotionally, you've already lost. You've stepped into her world, and now you're reacting to her emotions. You're no longer leading the conversation. You're simply being led. The strong man, the powerful man, remains calm. He doesn't flinch. He watches. He listens. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't lose himself in the chaos. His silence is strength, because the man who can stay calm during an emotional storm always wins. Rule 3. Face your dark side. Every man has a shadow. A side of himself he tries to hide. Past mistakes. Old pain. Fears that, if others knew about them, would make him feel vulnerable. Nietzsche called this part of you, the shadow. The side of you that you fear facing. The side that, if left unchecked, can control your actions and decisions. But here's the hard truth: if you don't face it, she will. And she will test it. Not to hurt you, but to see if you're real. To see if you've done the inner work. Women are naturally sensitive to weakness. They sense your fears and insecurities. And they'll press those buttons, not because they want to destroy you, but to see if you can handle your own darkness. The powerful man has already faced his shadow. He's worked through his pain, accepted it, and used it to grow. So when she brings up your past mistakes or presses your insecurities, you don't panic. You don't react. You stay calm. Because that part of you, your shadow, is no longer a wound. It's become your armor. So face your shadow. Own it. Rise above it. Because if you don't, someone else will use it against you. Rule 4. Don't compete for her attention. Nietzsche believed in one thing: becoming better than the man you were yesterday. But today, most men compete for women's attention. They dress better, act cooler, talk smoother, and try to stand out in a crowd. They do everything they can to impress her, but here's the problem: the moment you try to prove yourself to her, you give up your power. You stop being the man at the top of the mountain and become a performer. Real power doesn't chase attention. It doesn't beg to be noticed. Instead of trying to impress her, chase your own potential. Build your mind. Strengthen your body. Focus on your mission. When you become your best self, the attention will follow. Because true strength isn't something you show off, it's something that's felt. When you stop performing for others and start becoming the best version of yourself, you don't need attention. It will find you. Rule 5. Be dangerous, but controlled. Nietzsche didn't admire weak men, but he didn't admire uncontrolled anger either. He respected the man who could destroy but chose not to. The man who could explode but stayed calm. The soft man is ignored. The wild man is rejected. But the man with quiet strength? He's unforgettable, because a woman can feel that edge. She knows there's fire inside you, but you've mastered it. You don't shout. You don't threaten. But your presence speaks volumes. You're the kind of man who could break her, but you choose not to. That's not just attractive. It's powerful. A woman feels fear, respect, and desire when she encounters a man like this. You don't need to prove anything. Your silence, your calmness in the face of chaos, this is what makes you magnetic. Rule 6. Don't explain yourself. Nietzsche understood something profound. The moment you start explaining yourself, you lose power. Most men talk too much. They explain everything. They defend themselves. They try to make others, especially women, understand their actions. But true power doesn't need to explain. It simply is. Let's say she asks, "Why didn't you reply to my message?" Most men would feel the need to apologize, to explain their actions, to give excuses. But the powerful man simply says, "I was busy." No stories. No guilt. No need to be understood. Just the simple truth. This silence creates mystery. Mystery builds power. When you stop explaining yourself, people start to pay attention. They lean in. Women, too, feel your presence. You're not trying to prove yourself, you simply are. And that is when true power speaks. Rule 7. Never chase her. Nietzsche believed that a strong man chooses. He doesn't wait to be chosen. Today, many men act like beggars. They try too hard. They chase women. They send endless texts, try to impress her, and try to make her like them. But that's not confidence. That's desperation. And desperation kills attraction. Real power doesn't chase. It builds itself. It focuses on its own potential. It lives with purpose and discipline. Here's the twist. When you stop chasing her, she starts chasing you. She starts wondering, why isn't he chasing me like the others? Why do I keep thinking about him? That's when the power shifts. You go from being the one who wants her, to the one she can't stop thinking about. You stop trying to win her. Instead, you build your own life, and she wants to be part of it. This is the shift. This is the power. And it starts when you stop chasing. Rule 8, she can test you. Women test men, not to hurt you, but because deep down, they want to feel your strength. They want to know, can you hold it together when things get tough? She may say something sharp. She may ignore you. She might stir your emotions to see what happens. But most men react. They get angry. They try to explain themselves. They fall apart. Nietzsche taught us a different kind of strength. The strongest man isn't the loudest. He's the most still. When she tests you, when she tries to push your buttons, you don't explode. You don't fight. You simply smile. You remain calm. Steady. Grounded, because when you stand firm in your strength, she realizes something powerful. She can test you all she wants, but you won't break. You are the storm, not the one being shaken by it. Rule 9. Choose respect over being liked. Today, many men just want to be liked. They want women to smile at them, compliment them, give them attention. They think that if she likes them, they're winning. But that's not real power. Being liked is easy. It's temporary. A woman may like you today, but forget about you tomorrow. That's because liking someone is light. It can fade in an instant. But respect? Respect is different. Respect is deep. It stays. When you stand tall in who you are, when you don't fold to be liked, you earn respect. And respect lasts. A woman may forget what you said, but she'll never forget how you made her feel. She'll never forget how you remained calm, confident, and unshaken. Don't live to be liked. Live to be respected. And that's when you become unforgettable. Rule 10. Use silence as your weapon. Nietzsche understood the power of silence. It's not a weakness, as most think. Silence is power. Most men talk too much. They try to explain themselves. They try to win arguments with words. They believe that the more they speak, the more control they have. But real power doesn't need to speak. It says more with less. When a woman expects you to react, to defend yourself, to explain, and you don't, that's silence. It pulls her into her own thoughts. She starts wondering, questioning, reflecting. In that moment, you have control. You've shifted the energy. You've shown her that you don't need to fight to win. You don't need to speak to be felt. In a world full of noise, a man who can stay silent becomes powerful. Rule 11. Stay in truth, not in her emotions. Emotions come like waves. They rise and fall, shift and change. But truth is like a rock. It doesn't change. In relationships, especially in love, emotions can be overwhelming. 1 minute, she says you're amazing. The next minute, she's upset. One moment, she's close. The next, she's distant. If you're not grounded in your own truth, you'll be swept away by her emotional tide. You'll start to question yourself. You'll try to fix things that weren't even broken, but the powerful man remains grounded in his truth. He doesn't fold to her emotions. He doesn't let her mood swings dictate his actions. He stays focused, calm, and clear-headed. When you stay in truth, you become unshakable. Emotions come and go, but truth remains. Rule 12. Don't enter her world. Let her enter yours. Many men make the mistake of changing their entire lives to fit into a woman's world. They adjust their schedules. They stop pursuing their goals. They stop living for their mission, all to be with her. In doing so, they lose their power. Nietzsche would never allow this. He believed in creating your own world first and then letting her decide if she wants to be part of it. Create your own world. Build your own life. Stay focused on your mission and your purpose. Don't slow down your progress or change your direction just to make her happy. Live with such focus and strength that she feels pulled toward your path. She will sense your purpose. She will feel your direction. And if she's the right woman, she will rise to your level. If not, she will leave, but you never change your path for anyone. You are the leader of your life. A real man doesn't follow. He leads. Rule 13. Always be willing to walk away. Nietzsche knew that real power lies in being okay with loss. When you can walk away and stay calm, you demonstrate true strength. Too many men hold on to relationships when they're unhappy. They cling to them out of fear of being alone, fear of rejection. But the powerful man doesn't cling. He values his peace, his sense of self, and his worth too much to settle for something that doesn't align with who he is. If she doesn't respect you or doesn't align with your values, it's okay to walk away. Not because you don't care, but because you know your worth. You are confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. Real power is in the choice. Want her, but don't need her. And if she doesn't fit into your life, let her go. That is where true freedom lies. Rule 14. Don't try to change her. Just observe her. Nietzsche believed that most men make the mistake of trying to fix women. They try to correct their behavior. They explain, they offer solutions, and hope that she will change, but the powerful man does not try to change anyone. He simply observes. He listens to what she says, but he pays more attention to what she does. Does she say she values honesty but hides things from you? Does she claim to want peace but always creates drama? Pay attention to her actions, not just her words. Don't argue. Don't fight. Just observe. If her actions don't align with your values, then it's time to walk away, not to punish her, but to protect your peace. You don't need to change anyone. You need to see clearly. And once you do, you'll know what to do. Rule 15. Rise above desire. Don't be controlled by pleasure. Nietzsche believed that many men are controlled by their desires. They chase pleasure, sex, attention, validation, and in doing so, they become weak. Pleasure isn't bad, Nietzsche said, but the higher man enjoys it without being ruled by it. He doesn't chase it. He controls it. When a woman tries to tempt you, and you remain calm, you show her something rare. You're not addicted to pleasure because you found something deeper, your purpose. And purpose is stronger than any fleeting desire. When you choose to enjoy pleasure, you do so on your terms, not because you're desperate for it. The man who controls his desires is never controlled by them. So rise above fleeting pleasures. Find something more meaningful. And in doing so, you become powerful. Rule 16. She's not the prize. You are. Today, many men see a beautiful woman and immediately think, I need to win her. They chase. They try to impress. They act like she is the prize, the thing they need to earn, but Nietzsche believed the man should never see himself as the lesser one. He believed you are the prize. If you've built real strength, real power, beauty will be pulled toward you. You don't have to chase it. Beauty is everywhere, but power is rare. When you live with purpose, with focus, and discipline, that is what makes you valuable. That is what makes you magnetic. Stop trying to win her. Start becoming the man who no one can forget. When you walk like the prize, she will feel it. She will see it. And she will be drawn to you. You are not chasing the crown, you are the crown. Nietzsche didn't waste time blaming others, chasing fantasies, or living for approval. He turned inward. He sharpened his mind. He became a storm that needed no validation. That is your path now. Not to hate, but to rise. Not to fight for the crown, but to become it. Let them test you. Let them talk. You walk forward, silent, strong, unshaken, free. You are no longer reacting to life. You're not begging, proving, or chasing. Now, you create your life. You choose your direction. You own your path, and as you move forward, let the world feel what real power looks like.